asked
Again, I'll make sure we're all green lights.
I asked Keely this week in the food shop. I said, "Can I have some digestives? You know, chalk
Cookies.
top. Yep, the chalk top ones,
Shockbot.
the, like the digestives that had the biscuit and then their chocolate on the
Yeah.
other side,
Yeah.
right?"
Yeah. Goated.
And she goes, "Yeah, no worries, right? No worries." And I was like, "Sweet, keen as." Then I pick up the shop today because we do all the old click and collect, and these motherfuckers. Look at the size of that. Look at that. I have come. She has these have is what's turned up,
That's true.
and she's like, "That's all. That's all they had. They only had those ones." And I'm like, "That's not. That's tiny. That ain't a biggie.
These are the ones you
That
want.
is that is exactly the ones. That is exactly what I
Dark
told her to
chocolates,
get."
mate.
And she's like, "Oh, they weren't in the click and collect. They weren't there, so I had to end up with these." I was like, that's not what I wanted. Now, I will say this: there's chocolate in the middle. It's like it's like an Oreo, right? It's like a digestive Oreo.
Yeah, right.
Like so, fucking amazing. But I tell you, tiny. Like
Class.
it's look at it. It's one hit, and you're done. And when you're having your tea, it's just like you want a bit more.
Yeah, no,
You
that's
want at
rubbish.
least a two. You want a two biter.
That's rubbish. I'd be upset.
Oh, it's not great. Look, it's dunked. And then watch, it's gone now.
Is it dark chocolate or no, just milk?
Milk, mate.
You need the dark chocolate for digestives for me. Just a personal
Oh, mate,
preference.
look, I'm not on a cut. All right, so
Anyway,
I'm not worrying about the sugar here.
I didn't even make sure we were green lights. I better do that.
I think we will be.
Yeah, look, it
Everyone just
normally
knows
is.
about my digestive tract now.
You know what it's like, though. The one time I don't check, it won't be green lights. Yeah, we're green lights.
We all good, brother.
All right.
Welcome back to the stable, and we were talking about our taste in bickies. If you wanted to know,
The Round Stable, episode 18. It might be 19, but I thought it was 18, so we went with 18. Intro, rank, and score. I actually forgot to bring mine up on my screen, so I'll just go off my phone.
can I rip mine in first? Then
Yeah,
while
then you
check?
go, because I need to get mine up.
Yeah,
Rookie
so
move.
you and I are very close, but you just pipped me this week. But my round score was 2,036. I am still in the top 10K. I dropped a bit. I only dropped 600 places, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, we're still 9,000. But the round rank wasn't very good. Round rank was 34,761. So a few blokes this week had a belter. I saw some scores, but yeah, still staying in the top 10K, which is nice. But we wanted to be a little bit better. But you beggars can't be choosers because some people had a dreadful week, and I'll be honest. I'd argue your week was probably worse, but because you had Sir Maximus, he delivered, and Dawson. But yeah, a bit of a shit week all around, I reckon.
Very weird week. I had, a bunch of 70 and 80s with some massive ceilings. So it was a bit like, fucking, what do you do? But so I was 2,085. Round 14 rank of 21,388, which like some people must have it bangers, man. That'd be
No, I
some
saw
bangers out there.
2,400s.
Yeah, that's crazy. For a buy round anyway. Went up season rank by 630 just to 6,996. So not a big jump. And yeah. But these are the 2 weeks that I plan to move. And hopefully it works. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, I actually don't think many people have. I don't think this buy is actually that difficult for a lot of people.
No.
It's the next one.
Yeah.
Like I thought that maybe this one was going to be difficult, and then I looked around, and a lot of people only have one player. Like at maximum two. So I mean, everybody's forced to lose Roberts, so now most people only have one.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's really not. It's not going to be that bad. Like in fact, the person's affected the most in the league is me. So, but anyway.
Yeah, no, if Grundy owners and Blakey owners, and that's pretty much the only 2 out this week, isn't it?
I'd say merit, but depends if you
There's
got
not
merit.
there's not many of those owners, yes. But we'll go straight into Stallion, Donkey, and Voldy. Do you want to kick off with your Stallion, mate?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Tristan.
Oh, Sherry.
Well, yeah. Look, you dropped a 40. He dropped a 43 last week, didn't he?
Yeah, it was.
So he drops a 43 and gets 110 more, basically. So that's monstrous. Like that's the type of scores you expect. Now it's an interesting score because, like, if you watched it, it wasn't really 152. Like his time on ground still is really shit. Like they don't have him on the ground. So I don't know. Maybe it's highlight. The game was close, so the scaling helped. But like maybe because it was West Coast, maybe he's not going to get that all the time. The time on ground for me is more of a indicator of where the concern is. But 152 to come back from a 43, that's huge. That's like I
Yeah.
said, that's over 100 points. So he would be my stallion um, for this week. And yeah, I can't be too disappointed there. I actually didn't really have any other massive scores apart from that. My next biggest score was Max Holmes, so I didn't have a Oh, sorry, Cheezel, but like he's becoming that player now. You kind of expect it, but
And
apart
everyone
from
has them.
Cheezel,
Yeah.
and everybody has him, yeah. So Max Holmes was my next biggest one, 124.
Yeah.
So yeah, not a monstrous week for me, but I had lots of 120s and
Yeah.
130s, but no massive ceilings like yourself.
Yeah. For my stallion, it was probably a toss up between a couple, which you would think it'd just be easy. And it is going to go to Dawson because, I mean, that's maximum ceiling. That's 180 as soon as you bring him in. So it has to be Dawson.
Yeah, I mean, like you talk about timing of trades. Like, I mean, you wanted this guy 4 or 5 weeks ago. He's not produced that, and the minute you pull the trigger, drops 184.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could have timed that better. When I saw the first quarter, and I saw he had 2 goals and 9 touches, I was like, that's gonna be big. And then I checked the footy scores, and he's on like 69, and I was like, this is gonna be monstrous. And like it tailed off a bit, but still, 184 is
Oh, you
monstrous.
take it every week. So I was hoping for 150 once I seen the first quarter because it normally does. They either attract attention or they tail off.
Yeah, and the dogs just decided, oh well, okay, just have a field day, mate. We're not going
Yeah.
to fucking do anything with you,
Yeah.
which is so weird. Yeah, the dogs are a funny bunch. But anyway, yeah, that's a great
I
score.
think if you went him 5 weeks ago, you're not mad anyway because I don't think he went under a ton. But yeah, to go, a fair few people went him this week too, surprisingly. And we'll get into most traded in. He's actually still the most traded in this week. A little bit of point chasing maybe, but we'll get into that shortly. Give us your donkey.
My donkey, right? Someone that's really pissed me off. Yeah, look, this one's rough, but it has to go to you because I brought you in, and I've gone for a bit of a different tactic because I think to get all these primo forwards, it's really hard. I think it's most people's last spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
To really finish off. Um, and so it's difficult which way you want to go. And I thought, and this actually sends me, and this really just typifies my year. So last week we both went Matt Rao, and I was saying to you, and I did in my update video, and I even said to you that I felt like I wanted to bring in Took. And that week Took dropped over 100 and Rao did 70 odd. This week I finally brought Took in, and he dropped to 67. And I'm just like, that's not what I brought you in for, eh? But they can happen with forwards.
Yeah.
But I did watch that game with Gold Coast versus Geelong, and yeah, look, they just Gold Coast got problems. I'll tell you that right now. You want to scoop. They got issues, and yeah, they're in strife. They'll probably just make the wild card, but I don't think they're doing much in September. Anyway, but Took was 67. It's not it. I know he's capable of better. Not really the high ceiling getter, but he is a consistent 90 to 100 points, and I think around that forward line, that's what you. I take that every day in a forward line. So,
Yeah.
but 67, not. I'm not happy with that. I could have went Wilkie, but I think Wilkie was actually done over by just the Supercoach fucking scoring. Like the guy got 22 disposals. He didn't have a bad game at all by any stretch of the imagination. It just didn't score well. Like it was just one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, your disposals probably didn't lead to much. Like kind of maybe just safe touches. Like even though the game was close, he didn't really get much scaling. So, and it kind of affected Sinclair too, because Sinclair only got 90. So, yeah, I didn't really want to give it to Wilkie. Whereas Took, I watched it and he was turning the ball over like nobody's business.
Yeah. Turnover is the
Honestly,
one that's
if you told me they Freaky Friday'd fucking him and Lombard, I would have believed it that night because Lombard, first off, they looked the same from behind, and secondly, he was moving like Took Miller, and I'm like, I was like, what's happened here? Something's in the juice.
He's
But
had a
yeah,
good
nah,
month, Lombard. Had a good
he has
month.
had a good month, which means the cliff's coming with rookies, but Yeah, he's over 300k, which is insanity.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 mil. That'd be my donkey.
That's a fair shout. That's a fair shout. Before I get into my donkey, I did completely, because I did give it to Dawson. I just need to mention Gorn almost got my stallion because I had to throw the straight C on him because the 109 from Sniff Smith I thought wasn't that VCable. So to throw a C on someone and then they come back with a 160, it almost could have went to him, and it probably almost should have. But a Dawson 180, I have to leave it on him.
Nah, he doesn't deserve it.
Fuck
You
him.
played Essendon, he draws.
Yeah, it's funny. They're normally the curse. I was stressed, but they're normally. But yeah, I got it
You
done.
know, I just knew it. I knew this motherfucker was going to do something. He just like had no other ruck with him. He was solely in the middle, and then like my other ruckman was on a bye. I was like, this cunt's going to go. I just knew it. Everything was pointing towards going to have a monster game.
Oh,
and then he comes out. Oh, my shoulder's hurt. And he comes out and has the best game he has all year. Fucking twat. If you haven't figured already, I'm not a Max Gorn fan.
I don't think. Yeah, look, I'm not. I'm a fan of the game, but I'm not a fan of him. I'm a fan of his Supercoach score, though. My donkey.
I am too.
Yeah,
I am too.
my donkey will have to be. It's a bit stiff. It's a bit stiff. He got an 85, but I'm over it. I'm over it, and it's Richards. This is just not.
Gee, you over Richards with that? That's tough.
It's just. It was a
He
pretty
dropped to 130 the other week.
and 140. He's had a good couple of weeks. But
Exactly.
85.
First bad game in a while.
Yeah.
Nah, he's like a donkey.
Here's the thing: first bad game, but it's like his 8th for the year. So I'm fed up. I didn't want to see any more sub tons. I'm struggling with him. Yeah, it's stiff, but that probably shows how. I felt like it was a decent week, but everyone else that got A's and 70s is kind of like, I can't go Dale because it's his first bad game in 10 weeks. You know what I mean?
Look, Bon only got 101, so I just think the Dogs got absolutely pulverized.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, look, they were like 50 points down in the first quarter. And it's a bit of the North Melbourne thing. Like they did get it back a little bit, but when you're getting hammered, it's hard to score points.
Yeah, no,
it
you can't.
just is. So yeah, like I'm not surprised he's never belter, and same for Dale. But yeah, look, I suppose that kind of shows where you're at. If 85 is your donkey.
Well, I was ready for Dale for a few weeks. I was like, it's coming. He does not consistently do tons. It's coming. Whereas Richards, I brought you in as an Uber, and you have been sub Uber all year. You've been Uber for 2 weeks, and then you're straight back to sub Uber. Piss me off. So it's Richards. Give us your Voldy. Who don't you have that you're spewing about?
Go on.
Oh, Big Max.
I don't even have to think. I don't have to think about it. There's more to that story. There's more to that story. I spoke to you about it when I did it, and I think, and the advice was probably fair because at that time, Sherry was dropping 190s and stuff like that, and it was kind of like, how do you not have this guy? And so I made the sideways move, but that because at the time I had the 3 rucks, so maybe I had more of I guess I had a little bit more flexibility to take the chance, so to speak, as opposed to say someone like yourself just having 2 at the time. It would have been a straight sideways move, and that doesn't really make sense. But when you have 3, and particularly at that time, Max was going into that period where Heath come in the side and it looked like he was full forward, and his numbers did drop off a bit. He wasn't getting these 160s. He was getting about like he was always been over 100, but he was getting like 103 or like 100. And I just saw the writing on the wall, and I thought, and I sideways to Sherry, and at that time Sherry was almost 700, and I think his break even was that low that he was going to hit like 690, and so I was like, well, fuck, I'm never going to be able to get him. So I sideways to Sherry, and it probably has been the worst move I've made all year, I reckon, in Supercoach, because it just hasn't worked out. Like, I mean, talk about a flip. I was the only one that had Grundy, and then now Grundy's looking like the guy that's going to be rested and potentially playing dual ruck, and I got rid of the ruckman that was dual ruck and now isn't. So I don't think you could even have predicted that at the time. So, but it is what it is. So he's my Voldemort, and that one stings. I've got to wear that. And every round that he plays, I just know he's going to score. So I got to eat it. In fact, with you guys having gone and this is another thing with fucking Gorn that pisses me off, and especially with Melbourne. These cunts play on Sunday near enough every week, which really
Yeah,
pisses me off.
it's a big
So
Sunday.
like you
Yeah.
come into Sundays and you just know you're a bit in front, right? And you just look at it and you go, I'm done because Gorn's on a Sunday and it's a captain, and you're like, and so yeah, it just stings. I don't really think Bailey Smith is that because like I can make that up with other players with Bailey Smith, but Gorn kind of hurts because if Grundy doesn't play to the capacity that he can, it really shows. And I've got this funny feeling with a little bit of me intel that I don't think Grundy's going for high scores for the rest of the year. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's a hard one because he's always capable, but he doesn't look like it. But then, like you just
No, it
said,
doesn't look like it.
Gorn
Doesn't
didn't look
like
like it at that time either, and then it goes bang. The
Yeah.
Uber premium sideways, and it's you know about my trick play I'm thinking about doing with Richards to Heaney. The issue is there's every world that Richards starts dropping 130s every week after that. So it's just like
I think sideways movements in the midfield I probably wouldn't go for, and especially pods. I mean, like Richards is actually a pod for you. Nobody else has Richards, so when he does go off, that is points that nobody else has. So currently at the moment he is great, but that doesn't mean to say that late in the season you just don't want like I don't know. Late in the season you're down and it's worth the punt. Then you do it maybe. I don't know. Right now. Maybe not, particularly coming off a bye. I don't like players coming off buys. Sydney coming off a bye, break even's quite high. I'd probably just sit on it for a little
his
bit.
break even is high. So it is like you can wait for Heaney. It's 159 or something. So
yeah, it is high, which is making me wonder about some other things that we'll probably talk about that later. But yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. The only reason why I did Gorn at that time is because I had 3 rucks. If I didn't have 3 rucks, if I had Grundy Gorn, I don't think I would have went share. I just would have wore. I would have been like, oh well, like I'll just make it up. But because I had 3, I was like, well, and also too, you got to remember this point, Jackson was dropping 60s. So
that
I
was
was like,
just 260s of the year. Yep.
I was like, oh well, I've got to get somebody out, and Max was actually less than Jackson at that point. So I was like, well, I'll go Max. Anyway, hasn't worked out. And now Max is the top Supercoach player. So it's like, yeah, cool. That's great.
It's crazy, the swings in it. Well, my Voldy is another Melbourne player because I've wanted him for 4 weeks and I just haven't been able to justify it because of his buy, and it's Pickett. And it is painful. Every week he keeps scoring ceilings or near ceilings or over tons at least. And it's driving me mental, man.
That means it's like he has patches like this, but like it's coming. Like he'll drop a few 70s now. It always happens with Pickett.
It'll probably be after I get him after the buy. And I'm just... So I am fuming about that one because it is... Yeah, it's a painful non-own, especially as a forward. Like, what forwards are dropping 140s besides Sheasel? You know what I mean?
Not many.
Not many. So
Like even Bolton, like Bolton is a drop. I think his highest. He's dropped 2 140s
two
this year,
140s,
and he's dropped 2 130s. So he is capable.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not as regular. And actually, at the moment, Bolton's higher. He's worth more.
It's
but
crazy.
His break even's lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, is he going to make 80? I don't know.
You see, I don't know if I can get Pickett, Holmes, and there's another one I want after the buy. I think I have to pick one, and it's probably going to be Holmes. So it's a Voldy because I don't know if I get him. I'll have to figure it out. It'll hurt if I don't. But yes, Melbourne plays me in the Voldemorts. Can you believe it?
Yeah, well, grubs.
We'll sneak straight into the next segment, and this segment literally is just what to do with Roberts. That's it. I think it's probably the biggest talking point. You go into the most traded ins and outs, so the most top 10 trades. I think Roberts is in every one. So everyone's trying to figure out a way. It's Roberts to Hugo, Roberts to Holmes, Roberts to Naz. People are doing that in the top, with the buyers to come. I think roughly they're justifying it with kind of what I was mentioning last night, where you can't hold him because you'll have 2 zeros. So go to someone that will have 1-0 and one ceiling, possibly, or go to someone that's had his buy, which the only real option is Whitfield or Ash if you don't have him. If you don't have Ash, for me, it's the easiest trade for me. Otherwise, it's Naz or Holmes, isn't it?
If you want to go like for like, or you go completely elsewhere. And I haven't done my update video, but I'll probably do mine tomorrow. I've got a completely. I'm in such a unique position. In fact, I dare I say that this is almost completely fucked me. And the reason being is because I had my six completely, like everything's tight ship. And my gamble on the three rucks early for the majority of the year has not paid off late because of Grundy resting him, like getting a rest, and then the other ruckman I have having to buy on Grundy's rest week. So not only was I two ruckman down, I still at that point didn't finish off my defense. So I was effectively like 3 players down. So that fucked me. Then once I got the defense, because I've had to trade so much around because of the rigidness of the three ruckman, I now don't have hardly any movement. So if I go like for like, or if I go Naz, because I got Holmes and Ash already. So let's say I go Naz, which I'm reluctant to do because it's just too many out. I just don't want to do it. But let's say I did. It then means I cannot, I like categorically cannot get Smith, and I don't know. I'm in a position right now where I don't know who, because I still need to finish off my forward line. Like there's one spot left in my forward line that I need to finish, right? Then there's one spot left in my midfield. And now because of the Roberts injury, it's now created a spot in the defense. So and when you're talking uber primos, I'm not sure how to get there without getting rid of someone like Grundy. Like I don't have the room because I can't go down. And I guess everybody's maybe getting to this position now because there's not much cash generation. Like I can't go down anywhere. Like I can go down on Roberts, but then it means that I can't put somebody back there. So I'm at 6 and 7s at the moment. I'll be honest. I'm gonna have to do some type of Moneyball economic spreadsheet to see if I can just generate the averages through other players. Because if you put Grundy and Roberts' averages together, maybe I can recreate that with 3 players, and that might be beneficial. But yeah, to answer the question from Roberts, if you want just a like for like, yeah, there's only really 3 options. I'm with you. I don't like trading into a buy. I just don't like it. But then you're right. It's a unique situation because Roberts is probably he's not getting anything anyway. So you can get something this week for him and then miss next week as you would have missed anyway with Roberts. So yeah, you could just go straight to Naz. He's not going to let you down, but then it depends how many you have. And then if you don't want to go into the buy and you don't have him, it's Ash or Whitfield, or I mean he's too high, but it depends how much money you had. You could go Johnny Noble, or I don't know if you want to take a gamble. Like you could take a gamble on like someone like Parker, like who's still around. It's still got a high enough average, not as high as Roberts, but you could go there. Like if you just want to make a bit of cash and like still hopefully potentially get like 100, and he's not going to have a buy and he's playing Richmond. So it's a good chance there, 460, or like Wayne Miller, you could go there. You want to go? I would suggest go guys that don't have a buy. That's my personal opinion, but I know you've put Whitfield in, or you have at the moment.
For now, yep.
Jordan Clark, I don't
I
know if I'm
can't.
there.
I
Like,
can't do it.
like,
It's been a
like,
dreadful year for Clark. I
yeah,
can't
it
do
just
it.
hasn't. It just there's no ceilings there.
They
Like,
don't
you
play
actually
to
look
him.
through.
It's
They don't.
yeah.
He's made. I mean, he's made 146 once, and it was against West Coast. So that tells you everything. And the rest are just subpar, like 78, 85, 72, 91, 83, 87. Like it's not like that's okay. But, Roberts was dropping us 140s, 150s. So you obviously want a player that's kind of close to that. And there's only really about 3 or 4 of them. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's forced people into a trade they probably don't want to do. And yeah, for me personally, I've got to get my thinking cap on because want to end with some players, and I just don't know how I'm going to get there. I really don't know how I'm going to get to some players.
Is there a world? So the whole concept, we've talked a bit off air about tanking a spot because of the flex. It doesn't matter where you tank it, forward, back. 22 count every week, one doesn't.
Yeah, I did this last year. So I tanked
Yeah.
my forward spot last year.
I did as
And
well late. This is pretty early to tank it.
It's early. The thing is, too, I tanked it with 3 Ruckman last year. So it felt more beneficial. If I'm going to tank, I may have to go down the road of tanking with 2. And that's completely against what I've done all year. So I'm not confident going to 2 Ruckman at all. But unfortunately for me, if I don't get rid of Grundy, I don't think I could get either Lockie Neal, Heaney, or a forward. That's the problem. I'll be able to get 2 because I would already have Grundy, right? I'd be able to say get maybe Heaney and then a forward, but I won't be able to get 3. And that's what's difficult here. And I'm concerned also with Grundy. I am concerned. I just feel that there could be another rest coming. I actually look at the matchups with Grundy and that they're not fortunate. Especially as a guy that's watched Grundy for like a large majority of his fucking career, being a Pies fan. I just know where he struggles. And I know he's not this, I know he's a different player at Sydney, but like, for example, I'll give you the breakdown. And this is my opinion. So he plays Brisbane. He struggled against Brisbane last time because he struggled against Draper. So that wasn't good for him the first time around. And then he's got his next game is where Bulldogs, which is English. So that could go either way. I know English isn't on form, but could go either way. Then he's got Freo. He's got Jackson and Cox. He will struggle. Then he's got Adelaide. He struggled against McAndrew the first time.
He did.
Then he's got GWS, which we thought he would mince up. He didn't last time. Then he plays St Kilda, and he only got 90 points against them because of the dual ruck. Then Port, he just got kind of dusted against Sweet. Then he's got the Bombers, which nobody's done as well against except for Max Gawn. And then the final game of the round, he's got Sherry. So I'm not confident in any of those games. It's just I'm in such a weird scenario. It's my brain, honestly, I don't like it at all. I'll be honest. I've taken it like right now, just as it looks, taking him out. I don't like the trade because I'm like, getting rid of
because you know he can drop 150 on your head.
Oh, it does. I'm not comfortable at all. But you know what really fucks with me is because he's out this week. He's out this week, so I've got no value for him. And then the value is next week. But I think I'll be so far behind if I don't do something. If I don't do something, I think this week is going to kill me. If I have Grundy in the squad, it means that I can't have, let's say, Smith or someone that can generate points. And I think it could be catastrophic. I generally feel like if I have Grundy in this week, I actually feel like I can't make any ground up anywhere.
Yeah.
Like it'd be one of those weeks where I just have to concede and be like, well, season's over. Because you guys all got your three rucks playing. So fuck, they can all get 150. Like they really can. So it's hard. It's really, really hard. And then I add the Roberts layer into that. It's just the Roberts thing is bad because I have 7 trades left. And and I mean, we know this can happen, like injuries can happen. I talk about like just an injury that you didn't want to happen because it's such an unnecessary trade, eh?
Yeah.
It's the worst timing.
There is another option I've thought about with the tanking with Roberts, but before I get to that, Cooper Locks Supercoach is asking about the Thrill Seeker. I haven't paid much attention to 348k. It is cheap, but I can't do key forwards, especially this year.
He's had a dreadful year, I will be honest.
And he hasn't looked like it.
He hasn't looked like anywhere near it. I mean, he dropped 90 or something last week, but he hasn't been anywhere near it. I wish he was because, he looked a gun last year. I picked him for the Coleman this year. But
me too. I had him in Coleman as well.
Yeah.
Elixley back in, welcome in. Thoughts on Brayshaw or Taranto? I've liked Taranto for a few weeks as value.
Yeah, I do like Taranto as well.
More than Brayshaw for me.
Well, a little bit of inside scoop too. Sarong's a test.
Yeah, Sarong's due back. So Brayshaw's best scores have been the last 4 weeks. So Taranto, I think, is still just 500k. Like, this is the time where if you can't get to the Ubers, you get a Taranto where he can spit you a 120. You know, he can just do it. He was the only thing I'll flag. So I watched that Brisbane Richmond game. He was on par for like a 140 plus, and they used him in the last third of the game, so halfway through the third quarter, to go tag Neil. Brother, what?
Why?
Because he's the best player, and like he's probably the only one capable of like multiple. What a waste! So I think maybe their thought was tag and work off him, but he was on 24-2 at that point, halfway through the third,
killing it.
And I think, but it completely disrupted his game. Going to try and like pay attention to Neil and work off. They should have just left him. Like, he was the only danger, and they weren't even that far behind when they did it. Yeah, Neil was going off.
Close game. You know, if Taranto, if they didn't opt for that tag, sometimes this is what McRae believes. Sometimes you just fight fire with fire. Actually, Brisbane kind of do this too. Yeah, you can let people go off, but like you just stick to your system, believe that you're going to win. And Richmond should have just done that. Maybe inexperience. Sure. I don't know. But yeah, what's your idea with the tanking with Robert Watt putting a 99 in there, and so even if they don't play, just leaving that spot available?
So instead of tanking the flex spot, it's the worst week for Essendon to have their bye, because honestly, I would. Mate. There's a world if they were playing, and he's probably not due. He's due to debut soon. Artemis I'm pretty sure is a halfback.
Yep, I know. So, perfect timing.
Talk about tanking. Say they give him the role next to Merritt, who's playing kind of halfback at the moment. He might drop you 70s every week. So it's a 23rd spot tank to get money. We have to trade Roberts. We have to.
Yep.
Tank to Artemis. He's going to come in a week or two. And like, it's just
well, off the bye. There's the world where off the bye could be in the next week.
Well, I think he's due to be selected. It's whether they select him. It's Essendon, select him. You took him and pick one. And he's a halfback. I think it's a very possible, because is that even a tank? If he's spitting 70s, he could spit tons. If he gets a role next to Merritt.
Look, that's a really good point, and I like the theory, because at the moment I've done this, but I haven't put Artemis there. I've got another one that's, at the moment it's Hawker Hahn, so I'm just like, fuck it. Yeah. He can stay there. He got 68, but he dropped to 70 the first game. I'm like, whatever. He can just sit there, he's 99,000, and then I'll just go around that, right? And that could be your tank. Because what I'll do, because right now I've got one spot left in the forward line, which I'm working towards to get, and White will just go off to, he'll just end up being emergency'd out, you know what I mean? So you just use him for your loop for your captain. It's because White's in my forward line, not my ruck. So I would just loop him that way. I just put whoever the forward is that I get, put him on the bench, emergency bang. And then the forward line's done. So you're not tanking there. Your flex is potentially your third ruck, but you're taking the punt. You know, it's tit for tat in terms of, and honestly, yes, my question is this. Do I think Grundy's capable of getting 170 score for the rest of the year? Like, do I think he's capable of doing it? And I'm leaning towards no. And if I'm leaning towards no, then I got to move him, because I could make, like, I feel like the consistent of the midfield of the 150 to 140 scores are more regular. Whereas Ruckman, they give away a couple of frees in the middle and stuff like that, and their points can go down. So look, I'm kind of maybe making a case for myself, like trying to convince myself, but because of the Roberts thing, I can't go anywhere unless I make another drastic trade. So and that at the moment has to be Grundy. Jackson seemed to prove to everybody that he can play with two rucks, and he's doing fine. Sherry, if I had my choice, probably would be the guy I'd move on, but 544, there's no point. May as well just keep him.
He's probably going to go cheaper too.
Yeah, he's probably going to go cheap. So it has to be Grundy. And with, like I said, when Lee Matthews, just a guy that knows football better than anybody, arguably one of the most, like, talk about resumes, like one of the prestigious resumes of all time, right? If he's saying on the couch that there's word that resting is going to come, and they did this in 24, which I actually didn't know when they played you guys in the granny. They let Grundy just like go hell to skelter all season, and then by September he was fucking cooked, right? So they've learned like their lesson this time, and they want to like kind of ease him, I think. So he's prime for September, because obviously a prime Grundy is hard to stop.
Yeah.
But that we're not playing fucking finals here, so I've got to make that decision. And yeah, so if Lee Matthews is saying it, who knows football more than fucking most, more than a lot, I've got to put my ears up. But then also too, the brother.
Yeah, it's big.
Why the fuck's the brother traded you out, bro? Like, if your own flesh and blood, who should be backing you 1,000%, if I'm backing Brodie Grundy over his brother, something's wrong. So that to me has been alarm bells. And ever since that fucking trade, he has not been the same. I'm telling you. Like, he first then gets the rest, which is super weird. Gets traded, then the rest.
Yeah.
Then he goes to Max Gawn. Max Gawn goes off, which is whatever. And then he's now got the buy. And so there's just another one coming, isn't there? You just know it. There's another one
Cox
coming.
has said as close enough to that as he could. And yeah, the brother's the biggest intel. He's not a crap player either. He's a good Supercoach player, and he traded him out.
He's won the Supercoach before. Couldn't take the winnings, which is funny because, why would you play if you can't do any cash leagues? But yeah, that's massive intel. Like you just got to read between the lines. So for that, I may have to do something. I'm at the point now, but because I'm not, I'm chasing. I've got to try something. Because if it fails, then it fails, and not losing anything, because you know what I mean. I'm just going to be par. So I may as well try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
It is a hard one. I'm almost grateful I don't have to think about the Grundy situation right now, because
like I said to you 4 weeks ago, it's funny how it'll flip. 4 weeks ago, you were telling me like that is the most dangerous player to have.
Yeah, he was.
And that is so scary to see in a team, and now it's completely flipped, and now it's like, well, now you want to get him out, and probably one of the most dangerous is gone. Supercoach is volatile. It don't fuck
Good
about.
word.
Like it is. It leaves no prisoners, because I thought Grundy was such a great pod. Like he was the number one player, and like no one really had him, and then he drops that 203, and it's like, fuck. He could lead me to the promised land here, and then the most complete 180 ever. And I don't know if maybe if he didn't have Laddams, he would be. I don't know. I can't figure that one out. Like even if they just had a fucking basic ruck, would they still do this theory that they want to rest it? I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, it's a difficult one, but yeah, I'm probably gonna have to lean towards tanking that defender spot, which sucks because I just got it perfect. I was really happy with that. Ash, Wilkie, Sinclair, Noble, Holmes, and then Roberts. And I can say it now because it was my plan. I was actually going to low-key go Wilkie really late. I was going to go Wilkie to Naz because there wouldn't have been that much difference, and I was willing to go up to it, right? But now I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it because I have to keep Wilkie. So it sucks. It fucking sucks.
Kupelos did say Grundy's bros team had no cash, which is the same situation you're kind of in.
And exactly the same situation.
But he did say he knew he was missing a week. Trading after his rest will be stupid. I will flag, people have forgotten this very quickly. Brody's brother traded him after his rest. Keep that. Yep. So he had Grundy during the rest, traded him the next week before he came back.
Yep.
So he has information that is, and there's been multiple sources big in AFL saying another rest is coming, as well as the buy right now. So
you've also got, so this has been like, you got to think of it like this. And at the time when the first rest come along and I was going to rage trade, I talked myself out of it because at the time when I didn't know about the brother because he didn't do it yet, I was furious. And then I was like, nah, that's silly. Just keep him. The ceilings, yada, yada, yada. But then when more information come out and the brother trades him the next week, then he has this buy this week. And then there's the talk of more restings coming, or at least another one.
Yeah.
But then it's the eye test. It's the fucking eye test. And I have watched him because obviously he's a very major piece of mine. I have watched him meticulously in the game that he came back against So he played his first game. He dropped a 90. I think it was St Kilda, and then last week against Port. I watched him both times. And I could tell he is fucked. He is
No,
tired.
they all look
Um,
tired, to be honest.
they
But
all
yeah,
look tired. That is fair. But I don't like what I see. And I think he was fortunate to get 119 this week because the scaling was there and he got a couple of frees late. You take that out, it's a sub 100. So that would have been back to back sub 100s. I don't know. I've gone with my head a lot this year, more often than not. And I think maybe it's time to trust the gut.
yes,
And if the gut lets me down, fair enough. Then, like I said to you, it's a. But you know what I mean. Like if I don't do anything and then I don't make any ground up, then I'm gonna say, well, I should have went for it. So I may as well just go for it because I'm gonna lose. If I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose.
the no cash gen
So
is the big thing. If you have
that's the
serious
problem.
cash gen,
Yeah,
I would just say don't even think about it. Like, yes,
100%.
it's painful.
I'm with you
Um,
there. If I had if I had the 300 grand that I have right now after trading him, right? If I had 300 grand and Grundy, not a chance. I'm sitting on it. I'm
and a couple of
sitting on it.
250s still sitting around.
Exactly. And you know, Jones and Anderson still here. I'm sitting on it. And I'll be like, right, we'll work with that. Um, and then I'd probably be able to get another defender in. But
Yeah,
because I can't, there's no other player here that I'm willing to get rid of that has the uncertainty that Grundy has. That's the best way to put it. There's no other player in this team that has the cash gen with the amount of uncertainty. Like even Bont, he's been like begging for a rest, and he still hasn't been arrested. You know what I mean? I mean, look, he could be arrested this week. This week, I'll tell you what. This ins and outs on Thursday, I'm scared because there could be some
Bond, a
restings
fortnight. Yeah.
from everyone. You could see a sushi. I'm telling you, a
Sushi's
sushi could,
due. The
bro.
sushi is
Sushi
due
could.
for Sniff Smith.
Frio away. Do you know what? They spoke about this on the couch, and actually, I'm surprised. Oh, it wasn't on the couch. It was on a potty. And they were like, Geelong look at games and not so much tank, but like they strategically look at games and go, we're not going to win that one. So like let's just not like they don't even try, right? They're strategic. They don't want to waste like time and effort if they know like they're not gonna win, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if he just doesn't make the trip. He doesn't make the
The
trip.
biggest trip in the footy too. Leave them home.
Yep. Leave him home, 2 weeks off, come back, ripping and tearing. Look, fuck, who knows? It could be Holmes. I got Holmes, and who knows? So Thursday's interesting. Bont could be the same. Fucking Richards could be. You don't know. Like these players that are right on the cusp of this bye, they could be rested.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
We'll have to watch. Elixley is thinking about it as well, thinking about trading Grundy and Roberts to Jackson and Dawn. Little bit different because that is a sideways Grundy to Jackson. You have Jackson, but you're more thinking about making Grundy's money. He needs the money. Sideways is an interesting conversation because so Jackson.
I wouldn't go sideways. So for example, I could go straight to Gorn right now. I could. I'm still not doing it because what I need the cash gen for starters to get the other players out. So I need to go up from Jones. I need to go up from Anderson. The days are going down. I think we've run out of that time. There's maybe one or two left, but like I think it's upgrade season now. So we need some money. And like if I go to Gorn, I'm not getting any more money, so I may as well just stay with Grundy. There's no, and I may as well not waste the trade and just stay with Grundy if that's the case. So I think a sideways move, depending on how many trades you have, that's what I mean. Because of the 3 rucks early days, it's forced me to make more trades than most because I haven't had the flexibility because I haven't been able to use a flex. So I've had to trade around so much. So I'm lower on the trades than a lot of people. So I'm really now stressing to get the cash gen. But if you are not like me and you have, let's say, the amount of trades that you have or more, because some people still have more, then maybe you can take a sideways trade. It really just depends where you are. My situation, fuck all money, fuck all trades, got to go for it. So he's my only option.
The only thing I'll say about the difference between Grundy Gorn thing is Gorn still has his buy to come. Jackson, so you're talking right now, Jackson has 9 left to play. Grundy has 8 left to play from this moment. So does Jackson playing 9 games score more than Grundy playing 8? Probably.
Probably.
So you're probably trading into a higher total points, but it is, you just have to be aware that's as sideways is.
Yeah, look, I've made the sideways move. If you want my opinion, I've made the sideways move this year already, and it didn't work for me. So you got to be willing to take the risk. Now, you could argue me getting rid of Grundy to say, let's say Smith or Heaney. I haven't decided really yet. There's a part of me that I'll be honest. There's a part of me that likes Heaney a bit better, but it's another conversation. You could argue that's a sideways move because they'll be in the flex, right? But it's the cash generation I get from it.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot more cash from it. So, yes. Yeah, it just really depends. Sideways moves to rucks very rarely work. However, Jackson is a unicorn and he's probably playing career best form and he's got another game to play. And you know that the rest from Grundy is coming. So maybe this time around, a sideways move probably makes sense. Gorn, I know his buy's coming, but I can't see him dropping a sub 100. And I actually don't think he's getting rested. I don't. Because they if there was any game to get rested, it was last week. After the Collingwood game, he had no need to play against the Bombers, and he got 168 or whatever he got. So, he's not rested. That's the thing about Max, which is really great for Supercoach purposes. He's so egotistical and wants to make it about himself for every scenario that it works out for you in Super. But it's because he's an asshole.
Yeah, this is the last week.
He's not a team first bloke. Not a team first.
This is the last week where there's just a chance of a rest. But if he doesn't get one this week, he won't be rested for the rest of the year. They can't afford it because they're going for finals now.
Well, one, they're going for finals, so they can't afford it. But also, two, now Petty's injured. So they definitely, that also opens the door. So the guy that gets moved forward for Maya check is Petty. Petty now does a hammy. So it's like, well, fuck, who are we putting there now? So it's either going to be Gorn or Heath.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a watch. Alexley asked, is Dawson a must-have or still the Heaney, Baz, Naz higher than him? I would say Heaney and Baz are still higher than him. I don't know if Naz is higher than Dawson. I would say Heaney, Baz, Dawson, Naz would be the... Or, that's hard. Baz, Heaney, Dawson, Naz?
It's a tough one because Dawson actually isn't, apart from last week, Dawson isn't really a massive disposal getter. He's like a 23 to 26 disposal getter guy. But lots of tackles, but so that's where his points come up, and he can get on the scoreboard. So that's where his points come in. Naz, we know, can just do these really high ceilings. So I guess the question is, do you want a more stable, consistent number? I would say yes. That's what you're going to get from Dawson with the occasional ceiling. So Dawson, I think, is more reliable to get you tons and then an occasional 160. Whereas Naz can get you a 170, but he can also do you an 80. So it's tough. It's tough. Do you want to chase those super ceilings or something consistent? I don't know. I think Dawson's just become that price at 600,000 now. For me, it's getting to the point where it's now or never. Because I dare say it would take him, 4 weeks to come down at this point?
His break-even 69 at 600.
Exactly. So he's probably going to get another ton. So, yeah, he's going to go up to a realm where you're looking at probably 5 weeks. So I would suggest, because I don't see a 60 coming in from Dawson, let's put it that way. I would suggest it's now or never. And if you feel bullish on him, I'd go him. I would go him.
It's a funny conversation because then in that same combo, you've got Baz is probably the most consistent one that hits 150s. I feel like he hits 150s more than any of them. But Heaney can score 200.
Yep.
So it's like, it's really, what are you chasing? Like,
I'll be honest right now. This is why the buyers are so fucked. Because if you were to ask me right now on this trade week, if there was no buys and I had to trade somebody in, I'd be taking Heaney. Because there's something about that ceiling, man. There's something about it that gets me more excited. Now I know Smith is very reliable, and he is, and credit to him, fucking nearly every game he's doing this. Like he's a walk on for 30 plus, except for last week when you put a fucking bet on him and he drops 27. But anyway, it he is very, very reliable for a high number. So it's hard to go against Baz. But yeah, like you said, Heaney's capable of the 200s. So I don't know. I honestly don't think you're wrong either way you go. But if you don't have any of them and you're worried about the bye next week, maybe Dawson is the best pick.
See,
Maybe he is the best pick of the three there.
So I have Baz and Dawson, but I don't have Heaney or Bont. And after their buys, I'm actually smoking out Heaney a bit more if I can get Heaney. That's who I'm looking at. If I go the whole year without Bont, I'd be a bit like, I've made a mistake there, but we'll see. Like it's.
Do you know what? He's another Grundy chat for me. I've watched him a lot because I tend to watch the players I have, and I don't know if it's the age. I don't know. Not saying, look, he's still fucking incredible, right? I mean, he's still getting tons, but there's just parts of his game now that just aren't the same. Maybe the way they use him.
He needs the buy. I think
He's
wait and see what he does after the
forward a
buy.
lot. He looks knackered. And he plays high up the ground. He's actually not in a lot of centre bounce. Like Richards is in the middle more often, and so that's a concern. So I don't know. I'm if I didn't have Bontempelli, I'd be going Heaney as well, mate. Not super keen on Bont at the moment.
Cooper
he's still my M2 at the moment. Though.
Yeah, Cooper just came in with some copper. So I've called you Cooper all night. It's copper. Copper locks.
Get it
pull me up. Jefferson kicked 5 in the VFL for the Demons. So that's probably an easy in for Petty. Jefferson has played, I'm pretty sure, this year too.
Okay, well there you go. I'm not. Yeah, I'm
one
not
or
too,
2 games.
I'm not too keen. But then again, why isn't he played? Why isn't he in then? If he's kicking goals, you know what I mean? Some players just don't translate.
The coaches like Petty. He must train really well. Because I will look at him and I'll go like, I don't really know how you gain games every week.
Yeah.
He must be a beast on the training pitch.
He's soft too.
Every coach plays him. Every coach that they've had plays him. So he must just tear it up in the guts. But you know what I put to that? Before my check, who was he marking and training? So of course he's cooking it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, anyway, we'll just quickly go through the mid-season drafts that have played. We got 2 on the bubble, ready to bop. Hugo and Campbell Lake, believe it or not, one that just no one was expecting. He's played 2 and looking like going to play 3. But his average is 44, just keep in mind. But he is 99K. And then you got Hugo, Hall, Kahan, break even of -80. His average is 70. If you think he's pretty safe, reliable spot, even not, just I reckon you could just go on. Yeah, everyone needs money. Everyone needs money. I think if you don't have him, definitely pick him up. I'm not as bullish on his job security as a lot of the community. Prepare for him to lose his spot in 3-4 weeks. Maybe I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I have him. But
yeah, when they're the ones that you have, you're kind of like, please just hang on. At the moment, I'm forced to fucking have. And again, he might just become that guy that does the dud for me. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah,
it's but you're right. I don't know. He probably could lose a spot.
Yeah. But almost a must trade in if you haven't done it yet.
Yeah, at the moment, because we don't really know where this Artemis is, do we? We know he's a week out, but we don't know for certain.
Yeah, you think he does come in, but yeah, it's just.
I tell you who I like the most out of all of them. Do you want to know who I like the most? But he's on a fucking bye. That's Herbert.
Yeah, no, Herbert's nice, but even
I like that the most.
There's a little mail that he's not as safe either, but we'll have to wait and see.
That's harsh because I thought he played well.
Yeah, no, I like him as well. I'm probably going to get him next week as my downgrade. But yeah, before we get to Herbert, Campbell Lake, are you fading Campbell Lake? I am.
Mate, I'm
Saints.
I'm so tight for trades. Saints. I'm so tight for trades. I really can't. I've got one spot left for a 99er, and so it really has to be the right one. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't wiggle anything else now.
Copper Locks is he's funny. We've mentioned this before. He's got Wilkie in a few weeks ago, like yourself. The guy's a spud, so bit of feedback. Gets so many goals kicked on him, it's not funny. And now Naz is cutting his lunch with the cheap touches. Me and Tommy
Oh,
have
look,
touched on this. He cuts everyone's lunch.
he does. He even cuts
Everyone's.
Sinclair. It's fucking so annoying. He comes in and just takes
Yeah.
literally cheap touches. It is tough. I am I'm a bit sore on that one because at that time I could have went Wilmot and I decided to go Wilkie and look, and they were the same price and now look at Wilmot. So that one hurts, but then Wilmot would have had a buy this week, but that doesn't really matter because he'd be back the next. So yeah, look, it does suck, but I still think if everything goes well, like he's still capable of tons. It's not like 63s is like that. That's base. That's probably the worst score he's going to get. And he still had 22 touches. So like, do you know what I mean? Like if that was 63, off 10, I don't know. Like I'd be more concerned. Like I feel like the scoring just didn't really translate very well for that game for whatever reason. So look, you're right. He does steal his touches, old fucking Naz. But at this point, you're kind of just gonna have to run with him. I don't think you can trade him out unless you got heaps of trades. Heaps of trades, then maybe you can upgrade him. But he's not going to be a bad D6. I'll put it that way.
No, it won't be. Back to the mid-season draftees, the ones that have only played one game. The one a lot of people already have. He's coming in for me this week, just to sit on my bench. Fitzgerald scored a 73. Apparently, he had like 65% CBAs.
Yeah, he's now in my team just purely because I've had to do the cash gen.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I went down from Retchko to him, and see that's probably like again, I don't like bringing people in on he's going straight into a buy, but it doesn't matter because I probably wouldn't field him anyway.
No, he's not playing for me. No,
he's not fielded, so it's kind of like whatever. So yeah, he's there right now just purely for cash gen. But I mean, look, if he's dropping consistent 70s and 80s, then look, he could be a flex option. But yeah, it just depends. Is he gonna? I will say this: there usually is one or two that come in a mid-season and they do just fucking turn into like a 90 average player. There is usually one or two. It may be him. You never know, but. We'll see how it goes. That is only one game, and they played against the Bombers. I feel like anybody can get good scores against them. It's a real tough one, though.
I will say it is interesting that the amount of CBAs he got straight away. So that is good signs for him, I think.
Well, you were saying he's one of the VFL's best players. So if he's a gun in the VFL, obviously they were pretty sure of him. So weird he went 8 though. Still, maybe these other clubs thought they had better positions to go to.
The biggest scorer of the mid-season draftees this week was Herbert. It was the Herbs.
Herbert
75. Like I said, he's on his bye. I think he can wait. Nothing's changing. Make sure he gets picked next week. If he gets picked, you trade him in. Do a downgrade. If you've got someone left sitting on 250, I think that's an easy option. But I don't think you'd do it this week. Unless you're just doing a double downgrade for some people in that scenario. But
yeah, so if I had... So for example, let's say I want to go fucking stack this cash and have 800,000 going into next week, right? Because there's a realm I could do that. It would make my round this week really poor, but there is a world I can do it. I would then put him in because, look, you're getting a 0, but it means that next week he's playing and potentially your other ones aren't. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I can squeeze a player in this week that gives me something, and then next week I can get the trades that I want to. So I probably won't put Herbert in this week, like you yourself. But he may be, like I was saying before, I only have one. I feel like I only have one left for a downgrade, and I think it's going to be him. I'm bullish on it. I could be wrong, but I'm looking maybe to go Ison to him if I could squeeze a little bit more out of. If Ison get to 200, I feel like that might be a nice trade. But Ison's kind of, I think he's maybe reaching his potential there. He started to slow up on the scoring. It doesn't really look like he's going to get any more, but we shall see.
Yeah, we'll see. I still have Cumming there, so that is my down to Herbert
Yeah,
next week.
you got That's nice.
But I do still have Jones, but his break even's still like 40. So I'm just like, I'm
Jones
keeping.
is still but Jones is probably my way to Durham.
Yeah.
And then that will finish off my forward line. So I was never really keen on Durham. But then the Roberts injury particularly has really changed it for me. So he had more minutes in the middle because they moved Merritt back. And everybody was like, okay, cool. Now Roberts gets injured. So either A, Merritt's going to have to stay there, or they bring somebody else in. But the point is that he's probably still going to be in the middle. Now, the biggest concern with that is his injury record. So that's why it is a sketchy trade. But he's 370K. So that helps out a lot. And for someone that can get you 90s in the forward line, it may be the smart move.
I think he might be the number one target next week for me as well.
Look, he probably will be.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to go past, especially with his CBAs up like that. And again, now Merritt's probably not coming back. So,
Merritt's a sneaky. Honestly, Merritt's a sneaky shout for me now. I'll be honest.
It's up there. It does.
Halfback role. Only problem is he turned the ball. He didn't have a good score, and he played a lot of it. Like he turned the ball over a lot. I think so. I don't know. Yeah. Plus, too, he's not as much as a running halfback. When you get these halfbacks, you want them to be running halfbacks because the meter's gained and plus the chains. Merritt's not that.
No, he's a kicker, more likely. But they can score. Like Zorko's not really a runner. He's a kicker, and he does score well. But just to flag it, Durham's break even is 8. So if you're doing it, it's next week. There's no ifs or buts about it. The other 3 mid-season draftees that played, Anand for Richmond, he scored a 66, which...
Against the reigning premiers, I'll be honest, that's not bad.
No, but I watched the game, and if you asked me, I would have said he probably scored a 20. So I don't know how the 66... I've seen him a couple of times, I'll say that.
No, he's not forced.
But, yeah, the 66 is pretty impressive. Cook with a 26 for Melbourne, I believe. So I don't think he can go there. Okay, well, that's stiff. And Bamia, Xavier, got a 40 for Port. But he gave away a 50-metre penalty, which I think is like 10 points. So it's probably a 50.
What's funny? He actually, on the eye, looked the best.
Yeah. And
I watched a lot of it, and he looked all right.
If that 50 was late, I'm not sure. I don't know when it was.
Probably
You're talking like 15 points on that one.
The Supercoach, what I said before, is so volatile because the players on the eye, sometimes you're like, yeah, I've got one here. And then some, like, I'll be honest, before it's like hundreds, and I want to get your opinion on this too. I've watched Jagger Smith, and I don't think his game reflects super. Like, he has got games where he's had like 26 disposals, not really turned it over that much, and dropped to 60.
Yeah.
Like, it's very fucking strange the way Super is scored sometimes. No, and then you can get a guy that maybe just gets a tackle or gets a turnover or something like that at the right stage of the game, and they get massive, massive scores. So it's really weird. So yeah, I guess sometimes you're unlucky. Like, no matter how good on the eye they are. Like, for example, I watched Gold Coast versus Geelong, and you're so right. Zeke Euland, he looks like a good player.
He looks good on the eye.
Does not translate to super at all. But he's
20s.
On the wing, and he's around it. Lots of energy. He's looking for the chain. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, you're a good player, but it does not.
No.
It's just like they obviously treat it as like if your touches don't amount to anything, like if they don't go to something, like either a free kick or B, a score involvement, if they're just a straight out sideways touch and then nothing comes from it, I just don't think they get like any amount of score. It's just like a base level score.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough because he did look pretty good, that Bammett or whatever his name is. He looked all right.
And that free kick is stiff. Like the umpire blew the whistle. Yeah, so have you seen it?
No, I didn't see it.
He's standing on the mark and he's waiting, but 5 seconds passed, and then the umpire blows the whistle to say, like, hurry up. So he runs at him, thinking it's play on. And they called 50 on him. And I was like, They were like, mate, you don't have to blow the whistle to say move it on. They do it all the time. I hear it all the time, and I don't know why they're blowing the whistle to say something. Just
Yeah. I look, some of the frees that they give away this year have been so unfair.
yeah, no, it's
So unfair.
stiff.
Players must be fucking confused all the time, eh?
Yeah, poor fella too. Like you could see he was seething. But yeah, no, it is interesting. I don't think you can go him when you've got Fitzgerald and Herbert and Hugo belting around. But yeah, keep an eye on Bimmy. Copperlocks Essendon is sad. True. Setterfield is their best mid without merit there, and that is probably
That is probably
true.
true.
Again,
Except he
just,
gets injured a lot, Setterfield.
they're all injury prone. They're just
They are. They got an injury prone mid.
Setterfield is K under 500 and Durham's 370. So I don't know how you can go Setterfield. Will Sardis get a game after the bye? Most likely. The Sardis thing. The new coach seems to play him.
Yeah,
Scott couldn't stand him. He needed the bloke to go under 24 touches to drop him. It was bizarre. Like, I don't know if he was dating Scott's daughter or something, but he did not
just,
like
they
him.
they just don't translate to certain coaches, eh? Doesn't matter what they do or how well they play. Just certain coaches don't like certain players. I've seen it so many times. I mean, look at Vossi. Vossi leaves, Carlton end up playing like a top 4 side. He must be seething. Like, he must be thinking, this is what I wanted. And then some of those players just obviously didn't translate to Vossi. And it's the same with Essendon. Like, Zardis, I thought he's pretty neat. I think he's a tidy player. Like, and he's probably an upgrade to a lot of their players, but for whatever reason, Scott didn't like him. And I guess maybe it's tactics and off the ball stuff that they don't like. Like, maybe they want to see certain things from them, and that's why they drop them. I don't know. We don't really know the ins and outs sometimes. Maybe it's attitude. Like, some of these old school coaches, particularly coaches that have been players. So I'm trying to think here. This might be so. Chris Scott's the only one. I'm trying to think if there's another here, but I'm trying to think of recent players that won multiple premierships, and obviously you've got McRae, but like he's only won one. But like these players that were like absolute guns that won multiple prems as a player, then they go to a coach. I think sometimes because they were so good as a player, they just don't accept certain shit, like baseline shit. Whereas like maybe a coach that didn't play or wasn't as good, let's say an elite level, they were just like average or they didn't play. I think they might accept certain things from players because does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I think,
No, that's true.
Because I think like, say for example, like Buckley, I think like he would just look at players sometimes with Collingwood and just be like, motherfucker, I could do that.
Yeah,
Fucking do it. And I think that maybe Vossi might have done that. And then I think Brad Scott has got a little bit more to him than Chris Scott. I think Chris Scott's a little bit, he's more tactical, and he obviously clearly because he's won multiple premierships. But I just think Brad Scott maybe has a bit more of the like old school mentality to him, and maybe Zardis just did shit and he's just gone, nah, that doesn't fucking fly. Like, you're not on an elite level here. That's not going to fly with me.
Yeah.
And whereas a newer coach, a new age coach comes in and goes, it's fine. Just do, but you play your game.
Yeah.
You do know what I'm trying to say? So maybe that is a sign of it as well. Because you mean, look at the difference from Buckley to McRae, right? How much that changed. Like, we had players, and then with the same team, we finished 17th. No trades, like nothing. We didn't add anybody. And we went from 17th to prelim. Next year, won the flag. Do you know? So sometimes, I think it could be okay.
The other big success with Scott is Dimmer, premiership player with Port Adelaide, and then wins 3 for Richmond. So he's able to do it, but there hasn't been many.
No, it doesn't translate well most times. Oh, then you got lethal, but lethal's lethal.
Yeah, lethal's lethal. You can't go past lethal. Even in Woohoo, Woohoo's coming in. Welcome in. We're into the most. I went into like most traded in to cover, but we've basically covered Dawson pretty heavily. We'll just brush over 604K. His average is 116 and his break even 69. This is the week.
If you go to the top 1%, he's not in it.
No, he's just most traded in general. top 1% probably have him.
That's fair.
So it's one of those. Lockie Ash is the other big most traded in, 524K, 105 average, break even is 70. Again, if you don't have him, Roberts to Ash is very likely, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's probably I think what you're spending 15K, 20K.
Yeah, not much there. I think it's 20K.
Yeah, it's one of those. Sherry was the most traded in. He still has a high break even of 141, 554K, 122 average.
Richmond.
It's Richmond. So like if you don't have him, 554K, stop pushing it.
Yeah.
Stop pushing it. Like his average is 122.
It's going to happen at one point. Just you can't go too far with it.
This is where you want to catch people on the drop. So Dawson's 50K more, and his average is 6 less.
Yeah. So that's what you got to think about.
122 average at 550K. Walk past it. We kind of touched on this, but not massively. So the other two that are in the top 10 most traded in, and it's probably because of Roberts, is Pickett and Naz. Both have a bye next week. Pickett is at 468K. This is probably why Pickett's in. 468K. He's averaging 100 for a forward that is unreal. His break even is 43. So every chance, if he scores 100, he goes up 24K. If he scores another 130, you're talking he'll be 500K after his bye. So I can see a lot of people why they're doing that. And the other one is Naz, 560K, 106 average, break even of 104. If he scores 100, he stays the same. I think just wait on. I don't think you should be going Naz.
No, I don't either. I can't justify it. I
can't actually argue against Pickett. Like, I understand he's got the bye, but if you've got Roberts and you're flexing him to Pickett, like, Roberts is out for 2 anyway. So on a break even of 43, his final team stuff, you bring Pickett in, you don't worry about it. He's going to be F4, F3.
Yeah.
I can't argue against it. It's a tough one.
It is.
I wish I could do it, but my brain's just like, he's out next week. It's tough.
That's what I think about Smith.
Yeah.
I can't. My brain just goes, I'm just going to miss it next week.
Yeah.
Like, Dawson seems smarter. Dawson is smarter. I don't know why I like the Taranto move.
It's value. Taranto's value.
The Taranto is value, but capable of 60, and I don't know if I like that. But it's value, and it gets you closer to some other players around the ground. I don't know. Definite pod. Not many players have Taranto. I don't know. We'll see how Thursday comes along, how I feel. Smith ideally, it's a bit like the Naz thing. That's like the ideals. You want them there.
Yeah.
But I'm not keen on this bye next week. I want to try and make the most of it. So we will have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you on that one.
The Woohoo said, getting down to the business end, he had to reverse his Clark trade to Ash when Roberts went down. So because he knew he had to fix that.
Mate, I'm in torrential deep end. I'm in about the worst you could be. So I know the feeling, brother. Like I'm in the realm of it's now or never. Like you. And like I said, I'm gonna have to get the spreadsheets out. Like this is gonna have to be meticulous down to the fucking fine tooth comb. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm sinking as well, but I'm not giving up just yet. I'm willing to sacrifice. Grundy to potentially facilitate 3 other players in that might be able to push us through. But unfortunately, so are the other people. So everybody's getting stronger. And yeah, it just is what it is.
So that's the nature of it. He said he's doing Roberts to Ash, which we've green lighted. That's just the obvious one, I think.
It's
if you
the
don't
safest
have it.
one.
Rechko and AJ to Horny One and the podiatrist. Horny One makes him very uncomfortable. I had Horny One in last week, Tuesday and Wednesday, and I was too uncomfortable. So I did leave it out. I saved a trade. I just didn't do it. Dropped 112. It's after the buy. He's dropped 3 tons. So has something changed? I haven't watched enough report. If something's changed, he might just be doing it.
Yeah, I've watched 2 games now. I watched the game he did, so the last one, and then I watched the game before. He's not really getting too many CBAs, but it's benefiting him because he is really getting on the scoreboard. Like a lot of the time, he's dropping 2 or 3 goals now. He's just sitting outside that. He's real high half forward, comes in there every now and then. But like, I think throughout the start of the year, he was playing a little bit in the middle and having a lot of CBAs. And they've just realized that I actually don't think he's got like the motor for it. Like Butters does. They still have Wines and Drew that they throw in there. So like, he just sits out a little bit and he's a target. So like Butters hits him. He does get free a lot, Horn Francis. So I think that helps. He's a good mark, usually a good kick. So that all helps out. And he gets on the score sheet, which helps out with forwards and just the points. So that's why it's translated a bit better. Yeah, if you put him in, you probably would be top this week.
Yeah, maybe. It is, but I wouldn't really be able to do what I want to do either. It's one of those.
This is the thing. Like sometimes you wanna don't put the fucking the rose tinted glasses on so much. Sometimes you got to look past it, which is what I've been trying to do, but then I dug myself a bit of a hole. But anyway, I've watched your update videos, and because you've got a fair few trades left, yeah, you should be able to get to nearly everyone in the end, which is always nice. But if you're sitting around 10 trades, you can make it happen. But the cash gen is slowing up, I will say that. And I'm not sure if these 99ers can get to, or if they're going to even have the time to get it. Like, so for example, like Anderson and Jones are 250. How long is it going to take for 99 to get there? Like, I think, around
ages.
21, maybe?
Yeah.
22?
If they keep scoring 70s, Hugo could be there in 3 weeks to 200, 250, 220. Because he started so quick. It's the Woohoo wants Errol next week, which is like a fair shout. It's a fair shout.
When's he due back? Is he due back next week?
I think so, yeah. I think Errol's due after the bye. So
yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, Errol's due after the bye.
Talk about throw a spanner in the work.
And he wants Naz after his. See, I'm Holmes because I don't have Holmes. If I can do Naz from Houston, which I don't think I can. Like I said, I've looked into my cash gen. It's not. I've got a little bit, but I don't have enough for luxury at the end, which is annoying, because that was the kind of luxury I was talking. But I don't think I'll be able to.
That was my luxury, right? Dead set. That was my luxury. It was either going to be him or Witt, right, on top of what I had. And I was like, cool, that's going to be my luxury. And then Roberts got injured.
Yep.
And that just fucked it all.
Yeah.
Just fucked it all because it's a trade. It's not a luxury trade then. It's now a sideways trade, so you don't get anything for it.
Yeah.
So it just makes it worse. Anyway, but the good thing about Roberts, a good thing, but because this is a competitive, is that everybody has him. So it's not like you're not losing him and going, oh fuck, I'm really fucked here because I'm the only one that has him, and he's a massive pod and stuff like that. No, we all got him, so we're all in the same boat. And the kind of unique thing about it is because we're all in the same boat, we're all going to go different ways. That's just the nature of the beast. Everyone's going to see a different. Like you've gone sideways, whereas I'm going cash gen. So it's how everyone's going to play it out and what fits them better. So it's kind of cool to see actually.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see how we know the guy we're talking about.
Yeah,
I reckon he watches our streams because, like you said, he's ended up with the same players that we've had like every week. They're somehow traded in. We're like, okay, so you're watching the video. So if you are watching this, Ethan, I'm interested to see who he goes this week off this because
I think it'll be Ash. I'll tip Ash.
If he does, that's right. He doesn't have him, so you probably are correct in that.
And I have a pod against him, so I'm fuming. But anyway,
why did we all did?
Yeah. Who said feels better to have flex open instead of triple ruck. Very true. I've actually just closed mine up at the moment have added my triple ruck in Jackson, but it does
And I've gone the
feel.
other way. I've had it all year, and I'll be honest. I've put a midfield in there right now, and I like it. I like the
Oh, it is
flexibility.
so flexible. I don't think I'm going to need it for the rest, which is probably a lie. I probably will, and I'll be like, damn it. But
It's hard for trades, bro. Like
yeah.
you'll see. So next week, if you continue it, you'll see it next week. It's fucking
Oh yeah,
hard.
no, I know. Yeah.
You go to make a move, and you're like, shit, I can't even put that player there. I've done it. This was a little bit of an experiment for me because last year I didn't do it. I did it late. I ended up with four. Did I have four ruckman or three? Because Jackson was a forward. I may have had four. Anyway, but this was an experiment this year. I started off round one with three, and it did do me well. But like I said to you, it's become so hard to trade, and you end up trading more because you don't have the options to move players around. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to use more trades to get to certain players. So I am in agreement that I do believe that having a player in there is more advantageous. Maybe you want to end up final rounds with three rucks when you're done. I think that's probably true. But for the majority of the time, to get there, yeah, I'm under the assumption now that maybe just a midfielder
See,
or any other player, like fucking defender or whatever, but maybe not a ruckman. If they had ruck forward, if Jackson was ruck forward, that would have changed everything.
yeah.
It would have been okay. But because no ruck this year has had DDP, except for like Williams and stuff like that. But I'm talking the big three or the big four, should I say? Because the big four didn't have it, it just made it so hard.
Yeah. No, it's the only reason I'm feeling comfortable now is because McKercher was my setup. So I have a defender forward, which is very rare. So I have a defender forward which I can flick, and I have a defender mid in defense as well, which I've set up over the last 2 weeks. So now I can lock myself out of the flex. That was the biggest point to McKercher. Yes, North Melbourne's run, but he was defender forward that can get near 100. That was my whole plan to him. So
he can drop a ton. He can drop a ton.
So now, yes, next, like I said, it's my way to Holmes. He flicks down. I don't need the flex with my planning unless something happens, which something happens every week. But from this moment on, I won't need the flex. So that's why I've shut my loop. And I have chose to go Jackson over the Grund value. I could afford Grundy, but again, we've just all talked about that. Couple of talking points I wanted to bring up. We've already touched on Durham. I just want to flag the man's coming back. He's averaging 100, mind you. His break even is 54, and he's 469k. It is the Caleb Sarong.
Yeah, I once I saw he was a test, bro. I'll be honest. Coming into this live, fucking changed my thoughts completely. So I'm in all sorts. So my update video tomorrow will be interesting, because I thought just before he got his calf, I thought he just turned his corner. He started to get those 120s again, and he was a pod. So yeah, look, I maybe give him a couple of weeks because it's a calf injury, and sometimes they take a while to come up to speed. But if he comes back at anywhere near the level he was, yeah, he's a good. This might sound crazy, but I think I would trust Sarong more than Durham. That's my opinion.
Yeah. He's a proven
But I
product.
could be maybe I'm wrong with that, but I think his ceilings are higher.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
definitely. Yeah, there's no room for me, and it's not what I'm looking for. But again, we're talking
And
value.
and also too, he doesn't have the DDP, so he can't get anywhere else. He's strictly mid. So yeah, it's difficult.
But if you're in the camp where you're looking value and you're looking at Taranto, Sarong is 40k cheaper.
Yeah.
So that's a decision to make there. He's just
But then Newcomb's there as well. Newcomb's 480.
Will Day's there as well, 480. Just
Exactly.
injury prone. So
there's a few plays there around that 400, the high 400 value that can get you there, but it's do you want to take the punt? Because I had a when I did this little build with going down, I had a version with Newcomb in there.
Yeah, I had one last week with Newcomb in too.
Yeah.
He was in. Isaac Rankin is coming back very soon. 500k. This is funny about ups and downs of super. He has an 85 average at 500k. Sarong has a 101 average at 469k. So that just shows you 3 rounders like.
Yep.
cooks everything. Anyway,
When
Rankin's
when you the lower scores, like those 60s fuck you. They
the
just fuck you.
destroyer.
Yeah.
Rankin's break even is 133. You can just wait till he comes back in and have a look. That's close to his ceiling, so if he hits it, he just won't
It
change.
is, yeah.
I think you can just wait. But he is, yeah, I'm watching him if I can figure it out. If I can't get Pickett and he goes down, it's one of those. Are you looking at Rankin at all, or you just can't think about Rankin?
At the moment, I can't think about it. I mean, I think it's too high. The only other player I could have thought about is Pickett. But he's probably going to get a high score this week and then
Yep.
be close up around that 500 mark on a bye. So it means that it goes to the following week, and then it just depends. Like, I reckon maybe the only way I could get Pickett is if I go Toronto. So let's say, for example, like right now, the player I have in the flex right now for Grundy is Dawson. If I went Toronto, which I don't think is a better player than Dawson, but if I went Toronto, that would get me Pickett instead of Durham. Who's better out of them two? Pickett. So I don't know. I'm really, like I said, I got to get the spreadsheets out. I dead said this
Old
is
Excel,
economic
mate.
level stuff, bro. This is economic stuff for me. I've got to put together a case study because I can't tell you which way I want to go.
Mhm.
My brain says Dawson, but I like that cash growth for Toronto. I do. I like the cash growth for Newcomb. I like the cash growth, not so much Toronto, but I like the Newcomb. I really do like Newcomb because one, this round he's playing against Gold Coast and he usually fucking has a good score against them, so it could be a niche pick. But he's just not as regular as Dawson, I don't feel.
No, but he
And
is
that's what you're paying.
120 cheaper. Yeah.
But he's 120 cheaper, and that's the thing here. But you are paying up for Dawson. You know what you're doing there. I don't know. It's a really, really difficult one. So hold on. What is the average difference there actually just between the two? So like if we
Dawson's average is
100
116.
so he's 116.
Newcomb's
The old
103.
Dawes. Yeah, that's a bit of 102. So that's 14 points. That's a bit of a drop.
Yeah.
Like if that was like 116 and then maybe like 108. So say for like, like LDU and Clayton, they're 108. Even Anderson's 108. He's 30 and he's almost 35 grand cheaper, old Anderson. The only thing is with Anderson, I like that pick, Anderson, I do. But the only thing with Anderson is it's just too many Gold Coast players in my team, and I don't want to do that. Like, I've already got Rao, Petrarca, Took, and Noble, and I just don't want to go another. So he's probably not there. And then the best value out of the entire bunch there for me is Lockie Neal, 518, averaging 107, break even 75. So he is going to go up. Look, he's probably going to get Jordan. But I'll be honest, I don't think Jordan's going to do much against him. I don't think Jordan's been the tagger that everybody thinks he is
Not
year.
this year. But Neil is tag watch. That's the stress about Neil, is he's always tag watch at Brisbane. So
he's always tag watch. So I mean, but the next couple you're going straight into Geelong.
yeah. So he'll get Mullen as well.
He's going to get Mullen.
Stressed.
And his last 3 games he's played against Geelong, 93, 72, 71. Yep. That's not great.
No, he gets them every time. Well, not every time, sorry. Lugger has, but Geelong just have plans. The last one, we were pretty early on this. Not only did we mention him last week, we actually mentioned him the week before as a caveat. I saw a few people traded him in last week that have pretty good history playing this game, and it's Chad Warner. So he's now on his bye, 455k. His average is 89, but his 3-round average is 107.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I think you and I, I'm not trying to toot our own horn here, but like, without the risk of sounding like a dickhead, but I think you and I are pretty red hot in the space of like picking players because we know a bit about football and we know systems and styles. We can see it, and so like I think you and I were all over it because Mackin only goes out for 10, and they don't have anybody else that was in that role. So literally, he is the prime option for it, and he's straight away has a great game, right? But the only issue is because of the buy, and we were so reluctant to do it. But if you take that buy out, and I think that some of these top gun players. Oh, I've noticed this year. You and I have been different. We're trying to stay away from it. I've noticed some of these top guns are not afraid to go through it.
No,
They are not
no.
afraid. They'll if the player's there, they just get it. They get them and they just wait on it. And I can understand the theory because like he's probably not gonna be cheaper than that for the next like 3 or 4 weeks. So they think, right, I get him at the cheapest value.
Hmm.
I'll lose a week, but it's obviously top 18, so we'll just put a player in there anyway. But then after that, I've already got him. So you then save money and then people have got to trade to get him. I completely understand that theory now. And maybe next year I might apply some of it. This year it's probably too late. But yeah, he's looking like a real niche pick, hey? Real
Well,
niche
yeah.
pick.
The only stress is, will Errol
Gilden.
make
Yeah,
it go
Gilden.
back to what he? But he used to score ceilings with Goulden.
Yeah,
Now,
well, because
when
I think
McInerney wasn't
Gilden.
doing this.
That's right. So I think Gilden facilitates Warner.
Hmm.
For whatever reason, McInerney's game doesn't translate to that. Um, so yeah, look, I don't know. It's a tough one. You would think that Gordon coming back would probably make it better,
Yeah.
but I guess it's time will tell. I'm looking here at Zach Bailey at 467, and that pisses me off. But
Yeah, there's a chance I go him next week. He's on my watch for next week, but we'll have to wait and see. That's pretty much all the talking points. We're going straight into take one, leave one.
yeah, Roger.
I'll yeah. Look, I'm adding a one in fresh because it's been talking, and I don't know if we've got a exact answer. Taranto or Sarong?
Right now, I'd say Taranto.
Hmm.
I didn't realize that was his price. And from the only thing is, I have seen some average games from him, but then again, I've seen some fucking average games from Sarong. So
Hmm.
they are probably both capable, or just as capable as doing the same thing. So I'd probably maybe shade it to Taranto just because. Now, here's one thing that I would like to throw as a flag to Taranto. Who didn't play this week for Richmond? Who didn't play?
Lalore? He hasn't played for a long time now, has
Now,
he?
who was out and who's been their best player?
I don't watch much Richmond, mate.
Ross.
Oh yeah. Has he
Ross
been?
was
Has he
injured
been CBAs though?
but he's that mid/forward, right? Can
Mm.
come CBA, not as much Toronto, but my point is there was just a lot of extra footy there for Toronto to
Hmm.
get, right? And he was the only real player in that team. Like Ross has taken a fair bit of that out of him. So that would be a flag. Because I'm not sure Toronto can score as much with Ross in the side. Well, at least it hasn't shown that. But then again, can Sarong, like Young's back, who for how long? Who knows?
Yeah.
But Young's there, bloody Brayshaw's there, Bolton, Reed, and at least Bolton and Reed are probably career best form. You'd
Hmm.
argue. I mean, Reed's young anyway, but at least Bolton, which is harsh to say because he's won 3 flags, maybe dumb to say, but I don't know. I'm just saying, like
No,
he
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like he's playing career best footy. So I don't know if Sarong can get the ceilings. But that is a real flip of a coin. Probably right now, Toronto.
yeah.
But
Fair
I'm
call.
just saying Jack Ross coming in is not being there is probably something to look at.
Sniff Smith or Heaney?
Yeah, you're asking the person that doesn't have either. You have one of them, so like you probably say Smith. But I'd ask you this. This is probably the better. This is probably the better question to ask you, because I think this will answer the question. I don't have either right now, but if you open that app on Thursday night, and I'm saying this is out of the buys. You open that app on Thursday night. Who's the player that you don't want to see me have out of those two? Who are you thinking? Fuck, I don't want Tommy to have that.
It's probably Smith
It's probably
because
Smith,
it's
isn't
so
it?
consistent. Like 150 is a regular.
Yeah. You look at Smith and you go, fuck. Like, that's hard now. Like, that's, oh shit, we're even. Like, now I've got to try to get somebody else to get a pod.
Mm.
Whereas Heaney's ceiling scare the shit out of everyone.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they're just not regular enough.
yeah.
And
It's hard.
it is really hard. But this is the only time. So what are we at? Round 15. This is the first time Bailey Smith has dropped price, pretty much. The first time. Because he has not dropped below, because he had one bad game and that kind of threw his break even out. And then he dropped, because his break even went up to 150 and then he had 100 last week. But before then, he had just been consistently the same price. Like maybe go up 5K, maybe go up 10K, or maybe just like wouldn't lose any money. Like and when you're doing that at that level, that means you're hitting some fucking high scores, because if you're at 600,000 and you're not losing money, that's consistent.
Yeah.
So I haven't had him all year, and he has always been my nervous. Whenever I see the VC on him, I get fucking nervous.
Well,
so
yeah, he's a terrifying VC.
My pick's Smith, but I can understand if you say Heaney, because that's dangerous as well.
Jai Newcomb or Will Day?
Oh, I don't like this question. I really don't. Not because of... because if you're asking me who would I want, like, injury clouds away, I say Day.
Yeah.
I'd say Day. But his injury cloud, bro, it's not even like... It's not just like it's once or twice. It's happened a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm so nervous. I'm hoping, I'm praying to God this guy stays fit for the rest of the year, because if he does, I think you can see some really high scores from him.
Yeah.
And he would become a real neat pod at the end of the year. So I'm going to say Day.
Mm-hmm. No, I like that. Lachie Neale or Nick Dacos?
Oh, you did me boy dirty. Look, I'll be honest. Neale's Neale. But I don't think Neale can get 170s. No, not anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
They're the same price. That's only why. I think they're pretty much the same price.
Yeah, Neale's 518 and I think Dacos is 530. So there's like 10K between them. Dacos just has dropped a lot because he started off so high, and then it's inevitable. But he has a higher ceiling and he can get it. And I will say this, favourable run coming up. And why do I say favourable? No tag.
Mm-hmm.
So Port Adelaide, no tag. Richmond, no tag. Gold Coast, no tag. So if I'm being honest, I'm expecting minimum 130 average. I expect 130 this week. I'll be fair dinkum. I think he should be getting at least 2 and 35. And then Richmond, you should be getting 3 and 35. Here's the thing. Richmond last year he got 177. So that was his game. He's got 150 against Port. He's got 149 against Gold Coast. So I'd say this 3-week period for Nicky is probably the way to go. Whereas if you look at Neale, you can make a fair argument he's going to be sub 500. Now, for Lachie's sub 500,
after the next 2 weeks, yeah, that's great.
That's the player that maybe you'd be looking at. So maybe Nick now, but if you're looking at maybe Hunt and say, who do you want to get at a better value? I'd say Lachie. Mm-hmm. So I'm keeping Lachie in mind because I may fade him next week. Because that 2 week is dangerous. I don't like that 2 week. I might just go Durham next week and sit, but we'll see.
Well, there comes he's in our next one. And the weekly bloke that always shows up here, Shy Bolton. Or Durham.
Shy Bolton.
Yeah, that's fair call.
If you watch our earlier lives, I'm sure you'll find it. The disgust and the level of hatred I've had for Shy Bolton probably at times has been too harsh. Sometimes, though, it's been fair because we've both had it in previous Supercoach years, right? We've both done it. And he has let us down massively. I'm still waiting for it. I'm still waiting for the cliff with Shy. But he has done enough this year to suggest that he is worth the 450. Durham's like, you've just started. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you've got injury clouds over you. Yes, your break-even's only 8, but like, you've only really got this position because there's been a few injuries in the midfield, like Caldwell's out, Parrish is out. So there's 2 positions that, like, when everybody comes back, are you going to be there? I don't know. Whereas Bolton's a lock. So, and I'll be honest, he's there right now for me in this week's trade. And I like it. I like looking at that. Like, I like looking at S. Bolton with the rest of it. So, I'd say Bolton.
Yeah, look, see, so I've had, like you said, I've had him in the past as well and got cooked by some of them 40s. He was in my team this week for a total of like 3.5 hours, and I just got too fucking nervous, mate. I was like, I just can't.
No, but look, the cold feed's here. I'm waiting for Thursday because Thursday might change everything. But yeah, look, I know it. It happened to me with Tuke. He's probably going to drop a 60
I
this
don't
week.
think you have to worry about Sarong because I think Murphy Reed will suffer loss of minutes in the middle from Sarong, not Bolton.
True.
I think Bolton's will stay the same of his pinch hitting. Reed will take the back seat. So if you're a Reed owner, I think because he has been hitting his ceiling since
He has.
Sarong's been out.
He dropped 126 the other week. Like, that's ceiling.
And the week before. But Sarong's
Yeah.
out. So he's getting more rotation in. Sarong's coming
True.
back. He'll go back to his pretty still consistent 80 to 100. He was scoring with Sarong
And like,
in.
let's be honest. You're taking Sarong in the middle every day of the week.
Yeah, he'll go in. And I'll take Bolton in as well over the Reed. But a nice player at half forward, swinging up some wings. Chad Warner or Isaac Rankin?
I'm going to go gut here. I'm going gut. I'm going to stick to my gut now. I'm at this time of the season. It's gut. It's gut time. No more head. No more decisions with the head. It's gut. I'm going Warner.
Yeah, that's fair call.
I'm going
Well,
Warner.
he's got
That's
the
my
price.
gut.
He's 50k cheaper.
Got the price. He potentially could have the role. He's going to have his mate back with Goulden. McInerney's fucked off. You're out of the you're out of the zone now, mate. This is mine. This is my land now. And be honest, when McInerney wasn't there prior to this season, because he's been really good, but like in previous seasons, Warner's been the guy. So
Yeah.
he's got the history. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Does Rankin affect Dawson?
No, I think it affects Curtin. Curtin's been in there a fair bit lately
Sweet.
since Rankin's been out.
But no one has Curtin in their fucking team, though, do they? I'm just saying, like, in terms of Supercoach.
Yeah.
Are you concerned?
Nah, because Dawson's scoring well when Rankin's in there. You know what I mean? It's I don't know if because it's a calf, he'll probably be forward for 3 games anyway.
Yeah.
So it is a watch. But Dawson went to half back and he was scoring well there too. So Dawson's just one of them where it's funny. It's funny. I don't think so.
Yeah, he can float around and go everywhere, old Dawson.
The woohoo said Murph makes room for no man. He's more skilled than the lot of them. He's a nice
lot
player.
of them.
I would argue.
All right, look,
Sarong
I
and
want to
Bolton.
jump into this. I'm not taking more skilled over a 3-time premiership fucking winner. All right, I don't like Shy Bolton. Not the biggest fan of Shy Bolton. He ain't more skilled than Shy Bolton. Come on now, what are we doing here? What are we doing? This is a 3-time winner, man.
Bolton does have a bit of freak skill, and then you've got Sarong.
Bolton's got flair. Sarong's arguably one of the best inside players in the game. Let's just cool it. Let's just cool it on the Murph. I know he get the rising star last year, which he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have got that. He wanted by hype. I'm telling you, he wanted by hype.
He did have the hype train. He's better than I thought he was this year. He has backed it up well, and he's a nicer player than I thought he was. I won't go he's more skilled than Shy or Sarong just yet.
He's not more skilled than Levi Ashcroft.
Bit steep jump. It's funny. I think Levi had a better year last year, so it's funny how this going on.
I think Levi had a better year and won a flag.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good argument for last year. It is funny, but then again, a lot of the Lions players are down, so he's probably just fitting in with the mesh.
He's got the second year blues. It happens sometimes. Yeah. Like the first year is unbelievable, and admittedly he's got the success. So sometimes this might be another conversation for another time, but like he's come in year 1, won a flag. Like, how do you get up again for the next year? Like, how do you improve? It's grim. A very weird mental. It is probably arguably mentally the worst thing that could happen, because like you've hit the absolute mountaintop. That doesn't happen all the time. That is so hard to attain, and you've done it straight away. So like, yeah, how do you chase that again? It would be really mentally difficult.
It would be. We did want to rank in. Well, here we go. We'll do the last one. It is Murph, and I think woohoo. This might be a good one for you because you're bringing in the other one. It's Murphy Reed or the horny one. Say you don't have both. You have to take one. Supercoach scoring in mind. Mm-hmm. Murphy Reed or the horny one, because actually horny one's about 40k more expensive now. Murphy Reed's I think 450 still.
It's the same question that you like, because you could pose the same question to like Murphy, Reed, or Bolton, or like Murphy, Reed, or Pickett, or like Murphy, Reed, or Kelly. Like because like they are kind of all similar, but we've remained consistent with this thought process all year, and I'm still on it. And I know he got a high score at 126, but I believe the highest ceiling players are better off having long term in Supercoach, because when they do have those high ceiling games, one, you're probably more likely to win your head to head, or if you're in it overall like us, that may be that little bit that can win you something. These guys that are more consistent with their numbers but don't have those ceilings, I think are valuable, but you can't have too many of them. So, like for example, for myself, like I already have Took. Took is a Murphy Reed. Like they're consistent, not massive highs, but consistent. So I'm chasing now the other high. So I've already got Horny one, so maybe I'm a touch biased, but that's why I've gone Bolton as well, because I feel like he can get the high ceilings. The only spot left, ideally, would be Pickett, but the buy just fucks that up.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I'll probably, the Horny one does hit 140s to 150s, not all the time, but he can do it.
I'm pretty sure he's done on one. I think he's done on 140 this year.
Yeah, he has. I think he's done 2. I'm pretty sure he's done
there
2.
you go.
I might be wrong.
That's enough. That's enough for me to suggest that, hey, we're going okay here.
Yeah, I might do that. But then again, Reed doesn't really go under 80 where Horny one can. So it's a discussion. But you're right about the ceiling scores in the forward line especially. I'm not against the consistency, like even down back or even midfield, but I think the forwards, you want the ones that have history of 140 plus. Yeah. You want the forwards that have history of that. So, and if it's history this year, even better. And Bolton has done 2 and 2 130. So it is, yeah, it's a good conversation. Shower thoughts to wrap up. I've got a quick one, real quick, because I almost thought about it tonight, and I thought this was a late sub-in shower thought, because it literally happened before we started.
On the pipeline, you've gone, no, I'm changing it.
You know, I was home before we go live. I was like, oh, I'll have a bite to eat, maybe a little quick dinner. Nothing really going on. I really do the food shop tomorrow. I open the cupboard, some pancake mix in there. Is pancakes at night psychotic? Is my question. Because I felt, I felt it was. I felt that's shambolic.
No, because pancakes are a dessert.
They're a breakfast, really.
They are a breakfast, but pancakes can be a dessert.
Can they?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, so no, this was dinner.
So you had it for dinner?
No, it would have been dinner. I couldn't do it. I'm hungry. I couldn't do it. Because I'm like, that's fucking psychotic, mate.
So you opted out of the pancakes because you thought that as a dinner option, solely a dinner option.
Yeah.
That's no go. Look, that's fair for a dinner option. Probably not. I thought you were talking post dinner. Post dinner, yeah, because like a little bit of sweet, a bit of syrup on there.
Yeah, look,
you know, that's a bit of
I
ice
can
cream.
allow that.
That's fine. Yeah, post. I think post is fine. I can do that. Not a dinner option. No,
that's what I'm talking. It was. It was.
Look at an absolute punch, like at a pinch. I'm not averse to it. I'll do it to get by. Like fridge empty, you know, not going shopping until tomorrow or whatever. Next couple of days, and there's pancakes mix. I'm eating pancakes mix. Yeah, I'm not going to go hungry.
Yeah.
But obviously, you've made the decision to go hungry.
Well,
I will not opt out of hunger. I will eat.
I've lent to hunger for possible Guzman and Gomez run after this.
Oh, look, I mean, you didn't say that at the start. That's the option. Then I'm fading the pancakes for GYG.
That's what I'm just saying. I'll go hungry for 2 hours and I'll get Guzman or pancakes at 6:30 as a dinner option. I wasn't. I just thought.
I think. What's your go-to on the GYG? Do you like a
spicy nachos?
Are you burrito? Oh, you got nachos.
Spicy nachos.
So you're not a burrito man.
I don't mind a burrito, but their spicy nachos, I think it's the better nachos about. Whereas if I want a burrito, I go to Burrito Bar.
Yeah, right.
I think Burrito Bar's burritos are. But the spicy nachos are GYG.
I like the burrito bowl. Not bad. I'm actually, even Zambrero's burritos, I think probably are better than GYG.
You know who's the sleeper? the sleeper is Mad
For
Max.
burrito? Yeah, right. I haven't
Mate,
really tried them.
It's Subway, but burritos. I never knew that. You walk across the and you pick
Oh,
it
they got
like
the
a sub. I was
yeah,
like, this is
right.
mint. It's like that,
I don't know.
that.
I gotta go find that.
And then
Don't know if there's anyone around.
they got the 3 sauces at the end, and you got the classic like, red sauce, then a bit of lighter red sauce, then you got that bullshit green burn your fucking face off sauce. Like, when you see that green sauce, you're like, mate, that's
leaving no nostril hair left.
that's
mate.
outrageous. But
yeah, we're in trouble there.
The Woohoo just finished some Guzman tacos for himself, so it's in the
Oh!
air. It's in the
We're
air.
speaking into existence.
I'm going to get
you have to
Guzman's.
you have to get it now. You have to.
But yeah,
Oh, that's crack up.
yeah, fair cool. You got a shower thought quickly before we sign off?
I don't actually.
Oh, well, there we go. We'll end on the.
My one last week about the what would you do?
Oh, time travel man.
Yeah, time travel man. Like that I put a lot of thought into that.
Still messing with you.
I just think about it all the time. There's some thoughts out there in my brain where I think about them for a while, and I think, what would happen? Like, like simulation gets me far too much.
Mate, yeah,
especially with AI nowadays. I get on that tangent a lot.
Oh, AI is a beast. But yeah.
Which I could just get AI to make a team for me, and then they just make the decisions. Just run with
it. It's probably
I'll tell you
out there.
Do you know that just made me think? What if these fucking top guys? Who's to say they're not running off AI?
Oh, ChatGPT is.
Oh yeah, who's to say they're not running off? Do you know what? I'm going to test it for educational purposes only for this week. I'm going to ask it a question. Who should I trade? I'm going to ask that question and see what it comes back with. And if it comes back with anything that's remotely close to what I've done, I'm telling you, these motherfuckers are using it. No, because nowadays with gaming, no one's true anymore. No one's real.
What would be like the biggest kick? Say you asked it one week and it spat out like Neil Erasmus, and you're like, what? And then he scores that 130. Now you want to.
This is what I'm saying.
Old Logan Morris on his 160. Fuck off! Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, kick a 7.4. Yeah, like that. This is what I'm saying. And unfortunately, I don't have enough trades left to like maybe test the theory. I would love it to say, go pick, a 200,000. Go pick Billy Wilson this week. He drops a career high. I would love to test it. I can't. But I'm wondering.
Because you can upload photos. They're probably uploading. Tell me who the VC. Give me the VC option.
That's a good one. Or statistically, what's the best chance of a VC?
See, I've generally thoughts that come into my mind. I've thought about like creating one and making money if I was computer savvy, but I'm not. Someone surely has a Supercoach AI that has a subscription. Surely there's a Supercoach AI that has a sub. $4.99 a week.
When we were talking about last week, when you were saying about or your shower thoughts the other week, what talent would you want? That's what I was alluding to. Because imagine if you could create your own programs and people just paid you and you just made all these programs for stuff. That's why I'd love to be super hot tech.
Oh, I bet it's out there.
It probably is. Give it a feasting.
Anyway, we'll leave it there. Good luck, everyone, and hope we all score well.
Luck, so I hope you get some luck. We need it.
Hopefully, it's a good week for us all. All right.
Except if you're Dacos Dynasty, you can get stuffed.
GG's.
GG's. Adios.